reason, if you were playing for money, even at long league, even if you're playing for money, you should be able to do a decent job. Then you just give him certain little advice. At grassroots level now, it's a little bit different. You know, when you're doing 10 to 15, 16 years old kids, then you've got to work with them. Then you've got to work, because the work won't work with themselves, Jason. Like we did, we played football night and day, you know. That's in the old days. Nowadays, in the old days, you know, kids they had nothing, they had no televisions, we had no televisions, we had none of this, we had none of social media, nothing. And they don't go out. You know, they only go out, you know, for training if the mums and dads take them. We would, so you have to work with them now. You've got to work with them a little bit. And I think that if your mum and dad's bringing you, you know, to training, just sit, you know, the best thing you can possibly do is play small-sided games and let them play, but encourage them. If you see something a little bit wrong with them, you know, then you've just got to sort of improve him, because you've got 20 lads, you know, coming to your academy. You can't improve every boy. You can't. No. It's not possible. You know, it isn't possible to work with everybody. You know, if it's a dad's a bloody millionaire and he's going to pay you a flipping fortune to do it, you know, then you can go around his house every day and coach him like a professional every day and work with him 4 hours a day with the ball. But, you know, there's not many people like that. And people now, parents now all want their sons to be stars, Jason. Yeah. They all want, if it's not just a football player, it's, you know, Britain's got talent, you know, the Cowell fella, what's his name? You know,
Simon.
Simon Cowell. They all want to be singers or guitar players or being a star. Everybody wants, you know, the kids to be like that. And they get disappointed now, Jason, if the kids are not. It's like Peter Beardsley, you know, he's just got bloody sued, you know, because he told a kid that he wasn't good enough. Ridiculous. You know, it's Peter Beardsley, who I've got a lot of respect for, at Newcastle. You know, sometimes you've got to tell a parent, and it's a lot more than makes a grade. Maybe 1 in 500, one in 1,000 make it. You know, and you know the 999 kids that don't make it. You've got to say, I'm sorry, son, you're not going to make it. There's some parents these days, which makes me sick, they won't accept it. You know, if they're paying you for their son from 10 years old to 15 years old to be coached 5 years, you know, they see the money wasted and they start to sue you. The world's gone daft, Jason. It's gone crazy. You know?
I think the parents now, they put too much pressure on kids, quite a few of them.
Yes. Oh, bloody hell. You know, let them play and enjoy. You know, that's what, you know, this club's signing bloody players now. This club's signing players 8, 9 years old. How the bloody hell can they know our player is 8, 9 years old? It's ridiculous. You know, you don't know if a player's, you know, at 16 years old, you don't know a player. And it's all based on what I told you before. Stats. Yeah. You know, and it drives me bloody crazy, Jason. This stat thing, which there's a lot more. I went through it about 10 minutes ago. You know, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. You know, the kids these days are under serious pressure to make it, and they stop enjoying football.
Well, the problem you've got is, I've had parents say to me about 8-year-old kids, you think you can make it? I'm like, he's 8 years of age, just let him enjoy his football.
Can enjoy it. You know, just knock shots at him, tell him it's a great save, you know, or if he lets him go under his body, correct him, correct him nicely. You know, this is the way to do it, son. This is the way to do it, son. Yes, correct him nicely. You know, but don't bloody shout him. Let him enjoy the bloody game. You know, don't laugh. You know when he goes one on his body, makes a mistake, just don't go, no problem, son. That's joking. You know, come here. You know, and this is the way to do it. Bad luck, it's all right. You know, to correct him properly, but don't put him under pressure. You know, don't make him feel like he's inadequate. You know, and let him enjoy. And when he makes a great save, that's what you have to. Great save, son, and run home. Bloody hell, I can't beat you today. You know, give him encouragement. That's the best way to coach kids. You know, and then at 15 years old, 16 years old, that's when they start. That's when they start to learn the game properly, like I did. When they start to, you know, they're playing in third teams they're playing in Manchester City's third team. You know, they get signed on and. They're playing under 18 level, and if you get into the under 18 team at 15 or 16, then you're a good player. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more organised now. You know, it's totally different now. They're playing lovely pitches now. You know what? When I was a professional, you know, apprentice professional, 16 years at this, we didn't have the facilities they have now. You know, And I do think, and when they do join a football club at 15, and I seriously believe this, when people say they don't need clean boots, they don't need to do the jobs, they do. You know, like Shearer did jobs. You know, Shearer was, you know, a boot boy. He did not as much as I used to do. I used to do everything. But I think they should still be given tasks that, you know, bring them down to earth. Now they're standing at 16, 17 years old, and they get big-headed, and they lose it very quickly, and they're getting bloody fortunes at 16. You know, I went through, told you, you know, what I went through, you know, about getting a lot of money and being a superstar, and I lost my place going to clubs, and they're doing that, you know, too early now, and they can't recover.
That's the problem. They've made the millionaires before the 20, a lot of them. So it's
exactly
how do you motivate someone once they're a millionaire? It's tough unless they have got the hunger to kick on.
Exactly, and the love of the game. And if they do jobs, and they're down to earth, you know, that is when. In my opinion, this is you know, it learns you the game. You know, doing jobs, cleaning boots to the professionals, players. You know, and you know when you get into the team at a very early age, I didn't learn from coaches too much. You know what taught me, especially when I was at Workington and my early days at Blackpool, experienced pros that I was playing with. I learned more from them. You know, telling me where to be, and you know that blah blah blah. You know, centre halves. You know, sometimes it wasn't very nice. Yeah.
No. But as I say, so are you still coaching out there now, John, or have you stopped coaching now?
I would. I'm in between now. You know, I'm working for Facebook Live. You know, I work for Facebook Live. I fly to Barcelona every Friday. I do Barcelona on Saturday, on Real Madrid on Sunday. If it's sometimes different days, and I come back Monday. And I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. You know, it's a new thing. People don't watch television anymore, Jason. They watch football on the they won't. They don't pick up Sky Sports. Sky Sports was being fantastic. You know, that's what made Premier League football, Sky Sports. But it's changed now. It's this. People are watching football on their telephones, on their laptops, on their, you know, anywhere they can, you know, they can watch football. This is the young generation. And we go out to all of India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia. You know, we go out, you know, Real Madrid is a massive market out there, you know, massive market. You know, India is a massive. You know, I know a lot about India now because I've been doing it so many years. Massive footballing nation. You know, they have got to get one in the Premier League very, very soon. This is a country that's got there's more millionaires in India than anywhere in the world, any other country in the world. You know that, don't you? You know, you know, if they could. I took a lad many years ago, a lad called Gurpreet Singh Sadhu. I sent him to Norway, you know, and he was a fantastic goalkeeper, you know, for Lyn of Oslo, you know, for many years. He's gone back to India now because they can make big money. There's some fantastic talent. There's some unbelievable talent in India, Jason. You have no idea because the poor. You know, there's a lot of money in, but a lot of the players are poor, and there's some. You go to India and people think it's a cricket country. No, it's not. No, it isn't. In India, believe me, they're football crazy. They're and soon as they get a Premier League player, the better. You know, I could have done it for Gurpreet, but the thing is, you've got to be the national, you know, goalkeeper coach or the national coach to do it, because the criteria is you've got to play 75% of all national team games over 2 years, right? Okay. You know, so if you're not in national team coach, you can't play them. They're never going to get a work permit. Do you get me point? You've got, you know, if you're going to take a boy from India or you're going to take a boy from Singapore, you've got to be the national team goalkeeper coach. Or it's never going to happen because they won't pick him, and you have to work with them twice a day. When I was in Singapore, I was that far away with for sending a guy called Hassan Sonny to Leicester City. I know Max Watts was coming up, you know, to his, coming to his 42nd birthday, and they were not going to pay, so they needed another goalkeeper. And I was on John Rudkin many times to take him. He sent him to Thailand because it would have been difficult going from the Singapore League to the Premier League. He won the best goalkeeper in. And then some of the technical director, new technical director from Belgium came in and he sacked me, you know, to get his own men in. And I was that far away from getting Hassan Sonny to Leicester City, which would have been great for, you know, Singapore. Would have been brilliant. Yeah. You know, because I was national team goalkeeper coach there. And I was working with them every day. Iswan Mahmood, you know, was another one. You know, that, you know, I was bringing him in on the weights in the gym in the morning, and, you know, 1 hour before the team started every night, we were in before. We're working so hard, and, you know, when you work, it's not just taking the wages and coaching the team. You know, when you're like me, you've got to work for them outside. And, you know, I've got playing so many games and knowing so many people. I'm not frightened to ring people up if I've got somebody who's good enough, you know, to go for a trial. And then you never know.
That's all you can do, give them a chance.
Yeah, give them a chance. But they've got to be ready. And then when they've been with me for 2 years, they're ready. You know, they're ready because I make sure they're ready. You know, it's like Ali Al-Habsi. When I took him to, you know, I started with him at 15. At 17, he was ready. And I got no help. I got no help from the FA, nothing. And I rang up Alex Ferguson. And people say, how do you know Alex Ferguson? Well, Alex was there 28 years, I think, 27 years or so. I was walking down the tunnel as a 17-year-old for Blackpool. I looked over and there was Nobby Stiles and George Best and Bobby Charlton. I thought, oh, I've got no chance. And then, you know, 10 years later, I'm 27. I'm walking down the tunnel, you know, and I looked over Brian Robson Schmeichel, you know, Cantona. I thought, I've got a chance. And then another 10 years later, I was playing for Southampton, 37, you know. And I looked over and said, if I don't beat these little buggers, you know, I want my backside kicking. Beckham, Scholes, gigs, you know, and we had Jimmy Case and Cockrill, and you know, we had Shearers, you know what I mean? We had strong lads, you know, experienced players who could go out and beat these lads, you know what I mean? So that's why I know Alex Ferguson, you know, and I rang Alex Ferguson and I picked up I got a lady on the switchboard. She said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's John Budgie. I played against Manchester United a lot of times. Alex knows me as Budgie, you know." And click, 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 click. I got another lady. She didn't know me. It was his secretary. She says, "Give me a name." Blah, blah, blah. She says, "Give me a telephone number, and I'll get Alex to ring you if he wants to ring you." So I says, "Okay, tell him it's Budgie." She says, "That's a funny number. Where's that?" I says, "It's Oman." She said, "Where's Oman?" And I says, "It's near Dubai." In about 2 hours, phone goes off. He says, "Budgie, what do you want?" It was Alex. It's Alex. I said, "I've got a goalie for you, Alex." You know, he said, "How big is he?" I says, "He's about 6'4". He says, "How old is he?" I says, "He's 17. And he says, "Is he as good as you?" I says, "He's better than me, Alex." "Is he as daft as you? Is he as crazy as you?" I says, "He's more crazy than me, Alex." He says, "We better have a look at him then, haven't we?" So I went to the FA, and the FA didn't want him to go. They told me, no, this is 2003, or you know. They didn't want. I said, and I was asking for an economy ticket, you know, to Manchester. Didn't want him to go. 3 weeks later, I'm still waiting. I said, "To hell with you. I'll pay for him." I paid for him. I paid for him to go with my money. Yeah, to England. Return ticket to England. You know. And I paid for everything. I turned up. They put us in a hotel. You know, Alex put us in a hotel, you know, in Carrington, very close.
Yeah.
And you know, it's on Thursday. You know, you know, he was playing for the reserves to see how good he was. They were playing the first team. The first team were, and Van Nistelrooy smashed him in the first one. You know, Van Nistelrooy give him a. And I walked around the back of the goal, and I said to Ali, "Shuf hadha rajul, you see this man, you know, this is Arabic. Shuf hadha rajul, jiba mustashfa, jai waqt. Next time, send him to the hospital." Well, you know, I knew Ali's jump. He's got that, you know, that African jump. You know, he can fly, you know. Cross comes over, and Ali's soaring. He's punched the ball, must have been blooming 11 foot high, and his knee Van Nistelrooy in the face, kneed him in the face. You know, which I had showed him to do.
Yeah.
I'd been coaching that for 2 years. And Van Nistelrooy's gone down, and I thought, oh, what's Alex going to say? And then I just looked over at Alex, and Alex just gave me a wink. He went, "Brilliant." You know what Alex is like.
Yeah.
He was happy.
Tough.
But they tried to sign him. But we couldn't get a work permit because he hadn't played in the first team. He was only 16, 17 years old. So we couldn't get a work permit. He's not played in the first. This is how I know all these rules. You know, we went to Sheffield and we got turned down. So I took him around the corner to Manchester City, to Kevin Keegan. This I knew Kevin very well. And Kevin tried, couldn't get a work permit again on the criteria of the rules. You have the 75% rule of all international games. Couldn't get it. And I said, Ali, I'm telling you now, I'll not turn my back on you. We'll sort something out. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So I took him to Bolton Wanderers, to Sam Allardyce. And Sam said, "Budgie, in Manchester United, you can't get a work permit, you know, and Manchester City can't, I can't." So he says, "But what I'll do, Budgie, we'll send him to Norway. You play him in the first team, and he will see how he does in Norway. For the first year in Norway, as a 17, 18-year-old, he was the best goalie in Norway. And, and I got him into the first team because I was national coach. This is why you have to be national coach. You can't just go there and say, he's a good player, we'll get him a work permit. Doesn't work. Yeah. Don't work. You've got to be in a position. And, so after 2 years in Norway, he got his work permit. Bolton applied for a work permit. After he'd played about 6 games in the national team. And the 19-year-old, he got his work permit and then signed for Bolton. So that's the way around it. There is ways. There is ways of getting kids into it. And I love doing it. Yeah. I could have got Hassan Sunny in, for Singapore. But this technical director from Belgium, we won't mention any names, yeah. But he pulled Singapore football back a million years in his 4 years he was there. Unbelievable. Anyhow, is that it? Can I go?
That'll do us. What's your plans for today?
I can't do anything with the lockdown. I can't do absolutely nothing. I can't do anything. I usually sneak out, to the beach, and we have a game of foot tennis. I've done my training this morning. I go down to the field at the bottom. There's a big wall there with the grass. I smash balls against the wall and I dive on them. I do 20, and then I do a lot of jumping, a lot of press-ups and dips and stuff. And then tonight I'll go down and watch and play beach football. If they're playing, because it's Ramadan, the first day.
Yeah.
First day of Ramadan. Ramadan.
Yeah, we're fasting and stuff.
It's the first day. It's the first day of Ramadan today. So okay. I don't know if the lads are going down there today. What happens in Ramadan? They don't eat through the day.
Yeah.
They have the last meal at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they don't eat again till 7 o'clock at night. Yeah. And when you haven't had a drink of water and you haven't had any food, your body's down. Your body's down, and yeah, so it's difficult. I don't know. I've sent out on our group chat, are we going to play today, boys? I haven't had any reply yet back. As soon as I get a reply. So if there's no beach, if there's no foot tennis, then I'll just stay at home.
Can I ask you about your warm up before you go? I watched it last night on YouTube.
What about?
I tell anyone to go on YouTube and watch this warm up.
Like I said, I told you about the gloves. I was the first one to use goalkeeper's gloves.
Yeah.
There's a glove story. The glove stories. When we warm up, for instance, when I was a kid, I used to, try to do back somersaults off boxes and, walk on my hands, and, I used to be a bit of a tumbler. I just do it for fun. When you're a kid. I see somebody do it on a circus, and I thought I want to do that. I was only about 10 or 11-year-old, and I started to throw myself about and standing on walls and doing back somersaults off walls and, into the river, stuff, all of this stuff. And I was playing in a friendly, in Spain. When I was playing, for Aston Villa. And them are the days when teams came out at 5-3. Teams didn't used to warm up, Jason. They used to warm up in the dressing room, right? There was another spare room where both teams would be warming up, running round and doing stretches, and and there was no balls allowed on the field in the 70s. So when I went to Crystal Palace, I used to do these somersaults in training, and we were playing in a friendly, in Bilbao, and I seen a Russian goalkeeper come out half an hour before the game started, you know, and I'm sat watching, I still had my clothes on, and he's diving about, and then he just changed his jersey, and he played, and he'd been doing, his coach, he'd been on the field for half an hour, and 10 minutes before the game started, you know, the teams came out, and I thought, I'm going to do that when I get back to England. I'm going to do that. And the first game for Crystal Palace was at Manchester United, at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So I've got Dave on, and he says, I'm going out at 2:30. You know, Dave, come out with me and shoot some shots at me, get me warm. So I'm going down with 2 balls, me and Dave on, you know, the coach. And, you know, the groundsman says, where the hell are you going? And I says, I'm going to warm up. He says, where? I says, on the pitch. Because you're not taking bloody balls on the field. You know, 5-3. Well, I want to warm up. He says, you can go on the field, you can run around the field, and you can run around the field and you can do whatever you want, but you're not taking the balls on. That was a groundsman dictating to a player. Will it happen today? So, you know, when he'd gone in, so I've gone in. And Brian had got, Dave had gone took the balls back inside. So I started, you know, my first one at Old Trafford, the Stretford end, you know, because that's where the tunnel is, the Stretford end. I walked across the bloody penalty box on my hand, and the crowd, whoa, you know, and oh, you know, it's showman, and I just said, what's this bugger? You know, flick, back somersault, walking on my hands again. Oh, you know, they were loving it, and I was loving it as well. And you know, I'm out in the fresh air, and I had a storm of that. You know, I had a storm of that day. I think we beat them 1-0. And you know, the following week, you know, you know, I was at Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, and I said, I said, come on, Brian, Dave, sorry, let's go, Dave. So we went out and we had shots, and all the teams started, you know, after that, all Crystal Palace teams started coming out. We were the first ones to ever come out at 2:30, you know, and we would go back, put the shin pads on, and then straight out to play. You know, and that's when I started doing all the crowds used to love it, and I used to love doing it for them, warming up for them, you know, and then shooting practice. Yeah, but the biggest thing, you know, when we were playing Ipswich, first game of the season, back in the first division, you know, the first one, you're talking about showmanship, you know, they were Champions League, you know, they had Mariner and Gates and Osmond and Butcher, and you know, they were a fantastic team. And we played them at Selhurst Park. You know, they were champions the year before, and just after 20 minutes we got a goal. You know, great. You know, just before half time we got another goal, 2-0 at half time. Halfway through the second half we got another goal. You know, and just before end of the game, 2 minutes left. You know, we got 4. So I thought, oh, to hell with it. I climbed up on the crossbar, you know. I climbed up this, you know, did my gymnastics on top, pulled myself up. I'm sat in the bloody crossbar and I'm shouting to the crowd, you know, bloody great view from up here, guys, you know. And the crowd, you know, the crowd pissed. Well, you're laughing, but, you know, I had, you know, after we won it 4-0. And, you know, I had them all up. I had Butcher and Osmond, you know, and Mick Mills come up to me, piss-taking bastard, you know what I mean? I said, I'm not taking a piss, I'm just enjoying myself, you know, it's not taking a piss, we've got to win anyway, 4-0. Well, we got in the dressing room, you know, Terry Venables, sit down. Says, sit down, we all sat down. Budgie, you stand up. You know, and he says, if it ever 4-0 up again with a minute left, I'm telling you now, I want you to do that again because it's the best thing I've ever seen. It was the best thing I've ever seen. All the lads were laughing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Venice. That's when football began to change. You know, them are
Yeah,
the days where you know what I mean. That's when football began because I was changing it in a better way. I was
yeah,
changing the old bloody thing, you know, because I was a bit revolutionary in the way that I went to weights. I was the first one to ever go to gyms. You know, when I was building myself up, when I my renaissance in Blackpool, you know, when I was coming through my bad period that I told you about, I started going
yeah,
to the gym. There was only one gym, and there were, you know, taught me to do weights. You can get it on, you know, my wife now gets it on, you know, the app. You know,
yeah.
taught me, you know, taught
Yeah,
me. But I mean, nightclub bouncers, nightclub bouncers taught me, you
that's
know.
because you were giving the club that much money.
No. There's one gym in Blackpool, and it was all spit and sawdust place. There was no flipping pull downs. It was all man made. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The weights were all man made. You know, there was concrete. You were lifting concrete on the end of bloody pipes and stuff like that. You know, and I was being taught by nightclub bouncers. You know,
yeah,
because there's no coaches, there's no fitness coaches. They are now. There's none. The nightclub bouncers, and they were my kind of people. You know what I mean? They were fucking strong, rough lads. You know that you went into a fight with them and you'd break your nose. You know what I mean? That, and that you know, like I say, that them were the hard men of the world in them days. You know, you see the
yeah,
footballers now. They've got the gyms, and they've got the gyms in their houses. They've got gyms at the training ground, and I was revolutionising. And you know, I started building my body up, and you know, the man, are you sure, Budgie? Are you sure you won't make yourself? Because the thinking then was, you'll get muscle bound. You won't be able to
yeah,
move. You know what I mean? Says, well, how do you know people? You know, the sprinters, they've got big bodies on them. How are the fastest men in the world? You know, I used to go Mondays and Wednesdays to the gym, and people used to criticise me. And I used to listen to my body all the time. I was the first one, you know, thinking about food. You know what I
yeah,
mean? A diet. Yeah, I was always like that. I was always revolutionary, trying to make myself better. I was always listening to my body. I was always listening to my body you know, I didn't take on apps now because people are sheep now. If you tell them to,
yeah,
you know, this is good for you, they'll do it. They'll
yeah.
do it. They
That's it.
don't. They don't listen to the body, you know. And I didn't listen to criticism. I wouldn't listen to criticism. You know, don't go to gyms. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do because I'm not a sheep. I
Yeah,
just
you do your
listened.
own.
If I was playing, I was building myself up, and when I cracked somebody, they felt it. You know, when I went into a challenge in the air, and you know, I smashed. If I wasn't playing well, I'd have stopped, tried to alter something. But I was playing
Yeah,
great before I went to Aston Villa. You know, and they accepted it in Blackpool. When I went to Ron Saunders, God bless him, he just died. You know, I, I, you know, he started, don't do weights. You know, and I've all through my career, Jason, I've had
yeah,
fights with managers. I've had fights with managers that don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And, you know, and I haven't taken any notice of them. I've just if I wasn't playing well, if I'm playing well, keep on doing the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
you know, that's it. You find out yourself if you're dedicated and you're thinking about the game all of the time, and you're not a sheep. If you start playing well, you know, keep doing the same thing what you're doing.
Yeah,
And that's what I kept. That's what I do. That's what I'm playing. That's what I look like I am now. I'm in bed. I'm in bed at 8 o'clock, and I'm up at 8 o'clock at night. I'm up at 6, and I'm diving up. They think I'm crackers at 68. I'm flying
yeah,
about like a flipping 18-year-old. you know,
That's how you,
stopping shots. And, yeah.
that's how
You
you
think
still
I'm
doing your beach
talking?
football.
Yeah, when I'm going to go down to beach football, I'm winning headers and I'm sticking my elbows in people and winning tackles. And just, coach, you not too hard, not too, fuck, you know, and I'm 68. You know, the lads of 28, you know, they can't beat us. You know, that's
Struggle against you.
because, yeah, because I'm strong and I've kept myself like that. All right,
John,
we're
I've
gonna wrap
kept you
this
for over
up.
yeah, I've kept you for over an hour. Thanks for your time. You've been absolutely
Anytime,
brilliant.
J1. Anytime. Keep in touch, eh?
I will do, my mates. I'll speak to you soon.
Well, no
Bye.
problem.
Bye. See you later.